Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Prime Minister Frondell Stewart has received the reports from the two working groups which were set up to discuss the challenges to Barbados' foreign reserves and fiscal deficit and to make recommendations. And Mr. Stewart has commended the work of the two groups. He says the recommendations are being studied with a view to determining which proposals can be implemented in the short and medium terms. The Prime Minister is also giving the assurance that the appropriate sense of urgency is being brought to bear on the consideration of the report. The two working groups were set up on March 3rd by Mr. Stewart as the chairman of the Social Partnership during its full meeting at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. The working groups are made up of representatives of government, the private sector, the trade unions, and the central bank. Lawless motorists are being blamed for the increasing number of traffic accidents. That's the conclusion of the head of a leading insurance company who's determined to play his part in addressing the situation. Ken Jerson has that story.
It's a worrying trend, to say the least. 14 people have already lost their lives to traffic accidents so far this year. Now that's more than all of last year, and many more people have sustained injuries. General Manager of Cooperators General Insurance Company, Anton Lovell, believes he knows the root cause of it all.
What we are seeing on our roads, I think, is systematic of what is happening in society in general, and that is a blatant disregard for law and order.
Mr. Lovell says part of the problem is a fast food mentality, which basically translates to motorists having no patience. This view, he says, is supported by a review of accident claims.
You've seen situations where people refusing to wait at junctions, emerging onto the main road when it's unsafe to do so. You've seen persons proceeding through red lights, speeding, obviously cannot wait, no patience. So I link the fast food mentality really, and persons transfer that into their driving.
And while the number of deaths this year has brought the situation to the fore, Cooperators General had already picked up the trend. According to him, the insurance company recorded an 11% increase in the number of accidents last year compared with 2015. The company has sought to put the brakes on this trend by encouraging customers to be more careful. To this end, it's making them aware of the most frequent causes of accidents.
Rear collisions, overtaking, speeding, proceeding through the red lights, pedestrians at the crossing, etc.
This information has been sent to all of the company's shareholder credit unions for dissemination to their members and to clients on renewing their policies. And the company has gone even further, adopting a zero-tolerance approach to some of the more reckless and lawless behavior.
Once reports come to us, yes, and concrete information, factual information, persons racing on the road, either we warn or we move straight to cancel the policies, or second offense, we cancel the policies.
In this regard, 4 policies have been cancelled, while several other customers have, as he puts it, not been invited to renew their policies. Mr. Lovell hopes this helps to send a message and contributes to a greater level of care being exercised on the roads. Kent Jerson, CBC News.
Don't expect the Royal Barbados Police Force to implement any gun amnesty anytime soon. Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite made this clear while responding to the media about the increasing number of crimes being committed with illegal firearms. He says the force is committed to fighting crime by other means, adding that although gun amnesties have been applied in other parts of the region, he doesn't think it is the right move for Barbados.
The guys who have the illegal firearms, we really believe that they're going to come in and say, give me $500 and I'm going to turn it in? The answer is no. There are people in the community, who, because they've heard of amnesty, have said, you should have an amnesty and stuff. If a chap wants to dispose of his illegal firearm, he's free to do so and stuff. I don't believe offering him $500 from what I'm being told, especially when you're hearing stories about people renting firearms, etc. That it's going to be useful, and that's the view of the Royal Barbados Police Force.
The backlog of cases, which continues to be a cause for concern in the island's courts, is expected to get lighter. It's thanks to the U.S. Embassy, who donated a new tool called a Liberty Court recording software, allowing the court to digitally record cases. The St. Matthias Magistrates Court received the first one, and Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite says it will reverse the age-old practice of recording cases by hand and moving the judiciary into the 21st century. He says similar software will soon be featured in all of the island's courtrooms, allowing them to function more efficiently, as parties will not necessarily have to be present to have their matters heard. It's no election gimmick. That's how former Social Care Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe is describing the work being undertaken by that ministry through its Poverty Alleviation and Reduction Program. Yesterday, a resident from the Christchurch East constituency was presented with keys to her new home after it was completely rebuilt at parish land. Dr. Lowe, now the Minister of Drainage, who is the MP for the area, says the work to enrich the lives of Barbadians has been going on for years.
If the conversation of the detractors is to suggest that the government is only doing this because it is in election season, we don't even know it is in election season. We haven't been told the election isn't due until next year. But given the record that I've just given you and the record that Mr. Knight from the Social Care Ministry has given, I would want to believe that it would suggest to you that this has been an ongoing effort now for the last 8 years.
Barbadians need to put religion before material things. That's the advice from Commerce Minister Donville Innes, who at this time was addressing the congregation of the Bank Hall Church of the Nazarene.
And even for me as a politician standing here before you today, I say to you that for those who are seeking to find all of the good that they're looking for purely through political operatives or through economic means alone, may perhaps wish to reflect upon what Jesus symbolized many years ago in going into Jerusalem. The fact is that there's spiritual salvation that must come first and foremost.
He was speaking at a service to mark local company Uwe Haar's 30th year in the hardware wholesale business. Minister Innes praised the owner of the company for keeping its doors open despite challenging times.
Far too often businesses in Barbados start around the world. They meet the first hiccup, they flounder, and then they collapse. But you must always give thanks to those who stay the course. When Adrian took over 10 years ago, he had a vision. He wanted to be vertically integrated, believe in his chosen field of construction. And I can say to you that he has done very well in that area.
More than 60 people from Barbados, other Caribbean islands, and as far away as Nigeria have been interviewed in Bridgetown for jobs in the bars and restaurants of the Carnival Cruise Line. The opportunity was organized by a local recruiting firm and started yesterday. Ken Jerson has the details.
Trinity Recruitment Services arranged the interviews for 65 people, most of them Barbadians, at its offices in Mall 34 in the city. Most of the applicants didn't want to be shown, some of them because they already have jobs. In from Carnival Cruise Line to assess the job seekers was Director of Beverage Training and Development, Anthony Stice, who told CBC News what he was looking for in the group.
Number one is personality, hospitality personality. I say that I can teach you how to make a mojito, I can teach you how to make a margarita. I can't teach you how to have a good personality. So kind of the qualities that you can't teach is really what I'm looking for first. Between smiling, being hospitable, looking professional.
Those are essential qualities for working in the bars and restaurants on Carnival Cruises. And it's precisely because they fit his personality that 25-year-old Tremaine Godet believes he's ideal for the job. He was also very candid about why he wanted to work on a cruise ship.
Money, but also, you know, the travel opportunity. I love to travel, and there are not many jobs that you get paid to travel. So I think that would probably be my main attraction, the opportunity to travel and meet new people.
An aptitude for service, along with an interest in meeting people and seeing the world, are also the main attractions for Clinton Hostin from St. Vincent and Maurice John from Grenada.
I'm a people person, and I've been in the customer service department for years. Like I've had numerous jobs in that field. So, and I just like being a customer service, like interacting with people and, you know, serving people.
You go on the ship and you go to make money, and that's rewarding. You make different currency, double your currency back in your country. So you make more money, you have the experience to see different countries, you have the experience to buy cheap stuff, to meet new people.
The more than 60 applicants will be interviewed over 2 days, and the person they're trying to impress was quite pleased with what he had seen so far.
You can tell right away. I went to dinner last night and talked to a bartender, and you can see how professional the staff is here, which is really important. How polite, how hospitable, and then so far, you know, I'm only halfway through day one, but I just see a lot of potential.
Mr. Stice says Carnival Cruises will probably be recruiting once a year in Barbados as part of its efforts to have 25% of its staff from the Caribbean. Kent Jerson, CBC News.
Thanks, Kent. Well, a code is coming to ensure greater fairness in the local court system. The head of the Office of UN Women in the Caribbean, Tony Broadber-Hemmons, says research shows some stereotyping is present and can lead to biased decisions.
This phenomenon leaves open the possibility that even those dedicated to the principles of a fair justice systems may at times unknowingly make crucial decisions and act in ways that could unintentionally be unfair. Thus, although judicial officers may have made great strides in eliminating explicit or consciously endorsed bias, they, like all people, may still be challenged by implicit biases that are more difficult to identify and change. Also highlight Anika Gray.
In an attempt to stamp out this trend, UN Women, in partnership with the Caribbean Association of Judicial Officers, has created gender equality protocols for magistrates and judges. Barbados is one of 5 CARICOM countries expected to adopt the protocols. Chief Justice of Barbados, Sir Marston Gibson, made a case for gender sensitivity for both men and women, despite the fact that gender inequality usually results in bias against women.
Gender equality should not lead us in the direction of favoring any particular gender. Gender equality means that we must be impartial and we must look at the evidence, but we must be sensitive to the idea that what we do as judges will influence either gender equality or gender inequality if we are not sensitive. So we need to be gender sensitive.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Top steel roofing, Permaclash, in vibrant colors, Color Clash, standing seam, Permaseam, locking seams, Permalock, hurricane shutters, Permashield, seamless gutters, Permaflow, reinforcement, rebar, custom made, cut and bent, foundations, welded wire, stronger block walls, bricks board, stronger roofs, hurricane straps, fencing too, galvanized mesh. With BRC you'll soon discover, top to bottom we've got you covered, tougher, stronger, lasting longer. BRC.
A lot of people think that fast boats are cool, and the girls show like the guys who work them. But like so many things about life, you gotta be careful. Having sex without a condom is like riding a bike without a helmet. It's just plain dumb. It's okay to have fun as long as you're smart about it. My name is Daniel Divine Fortress, and I'm different, and I'm making a difference.
Live up, love, protect, respect. Hello friends, this is Jeff Shepard inviting you to join us every Thursday from 6 to 7 on QFM for Nichols Bacon Inc. Manor. Always fresh.
Local artists are getting their wish. A home for local art is coming. That's the assurance from Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley. He made the disclosure following a tour of the pop-up art gallery at Massey Supercenter Warrens. Mr. Lashley says a building has already been identified. The announcement followed an appeal by local artist Onika Small for a national art gallery on the island.
Part of the garrison, I think it's Block A, and we are negotiating the handover of the keys from the Ministry of Housing and Lands. I hope that they can hand them over by tomorrow. And that paves the way to then outfit the building. Much of the National Art Gallery collection, national collection, is currently stored in Whole Town in a facility that is not the best, but it just underscores the need for a National Art Gallery. But of course, we need also to be able to outfit the building.
Minister Lashley says he is impressed with the quality of work by local artists. He also welcomed the pop-up exhibition concept by Massey Barbados.
It is something that has been calling on for a while in terms of having corporate Barbados incorporate into their space. Opportunities for the visual arts in particular to be portrayed. There is significant economic value in doing this because of course the artists benefit from having their art displayed in a vicinity which is in close proximity to a shopping area, and it is also paying dividends also to the owner of the entity.
Managing Director of Massey Stores Barbados Limited, Randall Banfield, says the company has long been a supporter of culture and arts. He says the pop-up exhibition came in response to pleas from local artists.
This space was unused for a period of time, so when the opportunity came, and thanks to our marketing and communications manager who's right here, Karen Aline, it was her idea to offer this space to the Alliance, and it tied in well with one of the core values of Massey, which is to be a force for good, which is to be supportive of the communities that we operate in.
There won't be a clash between the Vintage Reggae Festival and cricket. This, as FAST Director Al Jokes stresses, strict measures will be enforced to ensure the stage is removed quickly and Kensington Oval left in pristine condition after the event. The Vintage Reggae show is scheduled for April 28th, while the second test match between the West Indies and Pakistan starts on April 30th.
We are ensuring that the field is kept as pristine as possible, and that there's no chance of any foreign objects being left on the field which could pose a problem to the cricketers during the play. So we will not be allowing any vendor to sell any drink or anything unless it's in a plastic cup, plastic container, or plastic bottle.
Regarding other events, Mr. Jokes revealed slight changes to the setting for this year's Reggae Beach Party.
Rather than pay for the entire venue this time, we decided to use just about 50% of it, and so that the number, if it's the same, right, it'd be more intimate, better accommodation in terms of being able to see the stage and all that, and the VIP area will be again more intimate.
For the past few years, the Bay Street venue Pirates Cove has been in great demand. One of our crews decided to drop in on the popular spot, and true to form, something special and quite different was happening.
Before we could even get into the venue that is now the home of various daytime and nighttime fetes and events, we were met by a sight you don't see every day. Over 30 motorcycles straight off of a cruise ship. We soon learned it was the ETA Bikers, as explained by owner Steve Wallach.
ETA is Entertainment and Travel Alternatives. We're the alternative way to travel and see the world. We happen to do it on motorcycles. So we are now celebrating our 11th year here in Barbados, bringing the ETA motorcycle cruises, which we bring our bikes right off the cruise ship, we come around the islands.
And Pirates Cove seems to be a hit with the group.
This is actually our second time here at Pirates Cove, and hospitality seems great, the food seems wonderful, the music's great, the bar is nice, and the beach is fantastic.
Mr. Wallach says Barbados is a favorite of his group.
It's the people. People from here, every island has its own geographical demographics, and it's the people here that make up Barbados. They're very outgoing, they're very genuine, and they're very hospitable. And that's what we want our people to know and get to, to receive. We have 77% repeaters every 2 years in our repeaters program. So we must be doing something right because they keep coming back year after year, and especially Barbados.
During the day, there is a bar and grill, food court, and live music.
Christchurch Parish Church was flooded with hundreds saying their final goodbyes as Station Sergeant Bridgman, the policeman who died tragically in an accident while on duty, was laid to rest today.
About an hour before the start of the service, a thick crowd was already growing outside of the church. Family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, Foundation School old scholars, and many that were touched by the life of Station Sergeant Clifford Sherlock Bridgman all turned out in their numbers as an undeniable sign of respect for a well-loved man. After the casket was closed for the final time, it was draped with the national flag of Barbados, with his helmet and sword on top. The police band was in fine form as it beautifully played a number of songs in tribute to their fallen comrade. Many dignitaries were in attendance, including Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave and Lady Belgrave, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite, Transport Minister Michael Lashley, and Acting Commissioner of Police Tyrone Griffith. During an appreciation, Acting Senior Superintendent John Annell described Station Sergeant Bridgman as a fine example of a human being. Tears flowed freely from the brother of his girlfriend Roslyn Gittins as he remembered his adopted brother.
Whatever families do, we did it, and we wouldn't trade those memories for the world. We didn't love him because of Roslyn and Azani, but in spite of that, they only cemented the deal. Ironically, Cliff missed the last family gathering of Birthday Beach Lane on that ill-fated Sunday, and only because he was immersed in a murder investigation. A delightful afternoon ended in a devastating night.
Niece Christine Fielder delivered a fitting eulogy underlying the legacy of her uncle.
Sherlock was strong, disciplined, a no-nonsense man, and embodied what a good man should be. So much so, the night he died, what we deem as the rough boys from the Pine stated in their words, "A good man has gone." That alone just speaks volume to his character and the respect he demanded.
Station Sergeant Bridgman was escorted by the band as he made his last march to his final resting place in the Christchurch Parish Church Cemetery.
Well, after the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across our region.